I'm going to call this meeting of the Education Committee of the Village of Wellington to order. Sorry. All right, so first thing on our list here is the Pledge of Allegiance. So everyone please stand. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next is our roll call. So we'll start Ruth Ann Retterbush.
Present.
Marcia Hayden.
Present.
Beth Gillespie. Jana Bolander.
Present.
Donna Baxter.
Present.
Shelley Albright. Not here. John Weber, present. Okay. Next thing is the approval of the agenda. You should have all gotten a look at that. It was emailed out a couple days ago. All right, we have a motion.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Agenda is approved. Attached with the agenda should have been the minutes. Hopefully you had a chance to take a look at that. If there are any changes, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to accept them.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're flying along here.
That's the way we like it.
Exactly. If it's okay with everybody, I think we'll skip over opening comments. We've got a few presentations and some, you may have noticed a few extra people in the audience today. Not that I'm sure that they wouldn't all love to hear our opening comments, but we'll just reserve those for the end to make them opening and closing comments. So then we'll move to our first presentation, which is the presentation by the Wellington Historical Society.
Jay, I would like to bring up for you Sue Beer. She is a board member with the Wellington Historical Society. Sue?
Hi, my name is Sue Beer, as she said. In looking over this group, I know I have had children of two of you and taught with one of you, so it's pretty familiar territory for me. I'm on the board of directors of the newly formed Wellington Historical Society, and we have an idea that we just want to float by you just to get your idea, your input as to whether this is something we could pursue. I have looked over the curriculum for the 4th grade Florida Studies program, and it's wonderful. It's really well done. What I'm proposing is to add on at the end a Wellington, history of Wellington for the 4th graders. And what we're thinking of is writing a curriculum that, of course, would follow all of the next generation Sunshine State standards, you know, for social studies, science, visual arts, math, language arts, and we would apply all those in there. The idea is to get some of my friends, retired teachers who've been in Wellington for a long time, to put together the curriculum. And then, I don't know if you remember Junior Achievement.
Yes.
They would come in and businesses would come in and teach the children certain aspects. It would be kind of like on that idea where we would have the volunteer teachers actually come in, not the 4th grade teachers that are teaching there, but the volunteer teachers come in maybe 3 times, a half an hour each time, a half an hour one week, half hour next week, half an hour the week after, to give the kids a really good overview of the history of Wellington. We have contacted Laureen Newbarth, who's the elementary social studies resource teacher for the county, and we're kind of waiting to hear back from her. But we would like to just get your thoughts and your ideas as to whether this is something that you would like us to pursue or not.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's food for thought, something to think about, and we just want to get started with the Historical Society to get the word out, and with the kids, with that Florida unit, with the fourth graders, it's a perfect opportunity to put the education of the history of Wellington in their heads. Yes, waiting to hear back from her, but we thought we'd just float it by you to see, if you're thinking that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Now, this would be just for fourth grade, Sue?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
I mean, absolutely in concept, it sounds wonderful, but really, we would just say, wow, that's great, with the approval of the
Of the
district
curriculum.
and the
Right.
and the principals of those elementary schools.
Right.
Then, I mean, as an education committee, of course, we're going to support you wanting to spread the history of Wellington as well.
Yeah, we
with-
would have to get the approval of the district. We'd like to write the curriculum ourselves because we're all longtime residents and we know how to do the Sunshine State Standards over and over and over and over again. But it would be with the approval of the district, and then we'd get the principals and the liaisons from the schools involved so that we could put it all together.
Sounds great.
I mean, in addition, when as we're looking through the resources you're providing here, I mean, if there's additional information that you can embellish upon what the teachers are doing with primary sources as you have here, I'm sure that could even be of help. But again, we could say, wow, that's a wonderful idea. We appreciate you making the offer, and with the approval of the powers that be. Sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sue, so basically, this committee can write a recommendation, and we can get that to the district in terms of that you presented this to the committee, and we can forward that on. Is what we can do.
Okay.
That would be
Okay.
wonderful.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I think that it would be wonderful for the students, the fourth graders of Wellington, to learn a little bit more about Wellington. I know growing up in Connecticut, where the towns run the schools, you find a lot about your local history, and that
Right.
I think falls through the cracks a little bit here. Luckily, we're able with the Historical Society to try and do that. So I would certainly be in favor of making such a recommendation. And if you do run into any headwinds with the district or anything like that, another thing you might consider is just even creating some kind of presentation that could be given to a fourth grade, a group of fourth graders, maybe even for 45 minutes
As
or
a test
something.
run.
Exactly, just to allow the to get them that information, even if we run into some of the bureaucratic headwinds.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're quite fortunate because I kind of think we have some district people here.
That's,
Glad to hear it. Okay, thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Do we need to vote on the resolution? We have to vote?
I guess we should take a vote on whether or not we would like to make a recommendation to the district that they consider this, or that we would recommend it if it fits into their educational framework.
Okay.
Don't know the language, the language of such a recommendation, but I guess we could just do something along the lines of.
You could call for a motion,
Motion.
Jay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To recommend or to put our, stamp of approval on, or just to
Let's-
support. Basically,
Uh,
we're
let us
recommending
support.
we're recommending to support the Historical Society's efforts to incorporate the history of Wellington into the fourth grade curriculum for Florida history.
There you go.
Perfect.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Is there any discussion on that before we vote?
No.
No? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. There we go.
All right, our second presentation is from Wellington's Equestrian Preserve Committee, and we have Carlos Ariano to come up to speak to us and make a presentation on that. Carlos? We also have Jane Cleveland. So Jane, if you would like to.
Hello, I'm Carlos Arellano with the Equestrian Preserve Committee. I'm here with our Chief of Staff, Jane, and our doctor in case something happened, Raquel. We are all volunteers in the Equestrian Preserve, and our whole idea is to make Wellington a better place to live, just like you are, teaching our children to be better citizens. In our discussion, in our meeting, we said, how can we get the people of Wellington involved in assisting the polo games, in assisting the dressage competition, in assisting the jumping of the hunters. And if you don't know, we have 14,000 horses competing here every year from December 1st to April 30th. And a way to get them will be if the schools can have like a field day, or they can, you have the school buses from Tuesday to Friday, the games are free. We have games at 10 o'clock in the morning, at 12 o'clock, and at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can come during the school hours, come to see a polo game. You let the Equestrian Preserve Committee know that you're coming. We will reserve a spot for the bus, for the kids. If I can arrange to have drinks for them, we will do that too. But the whole idea is to get the kids involved, for them to see a game, and then they can go home and say, Papa, Mama, let's go Saturday to the game. Let's go Sunday. The only day that you pay is Sunday at 3 o'clock in the stadium, but all the other games are free. And I bet you half of the kids in Wellington have never been to a polo game or to a dressage or to a jumping. And we have the horse in our logo, Wellington.
Right.
And, this is a way for them to get involved and to get the citizens, the residents of Wellington, to come and assist and say, wow, this is different. I didn't expect something like this in my backyard. So the idea is for the kids to come. The kids will bring the parents and the grandmother and the aunt and everybody to the games. And we have equestrian academies that the kids can join after school and learn how to ride. We may have another 5-star polo player in Wellington, and we have to teach him. My kids grew up here in Wellington. When we got here, my oldest was 9 years old. There was no school in Wellington. He had to go to Green Acres the first year, I remember. And this was in 1979. Wow. So that's part of the historical society. But I have 3 boys that play. I have 3 grandkids that play, 2 boys and a girl. The other thing that we can do to impulse this idea is to bring 1 or 2 kids to your football field with a horse, and they can, show everybody how they hit the ball, the different shots that we do from a horse, and get them excited to come to a game. I think it's a good way to learn about the history of Wellington. Wellington is what it is because of the equestrian, and we want to keep it that way. So I encourage you to think about, coming to a 10 o'clock game. If you want to come first to a game before we bring the kids, I'd be happy to be your host. The season lasts until April 30th, so we really don't have too much time. You got this month and next month. But I brought a couple of pages with the schedules of the games this week. Like I said, Tuesday to Friday, which is school time. And I don't know where you park the buses, but if they're right there in your parking lot, all you got to do is bring the kids. And you let us know if you want us to come to your football field and We will show you what a horse produces, probably. Show you how they hit the ball from the horse. Okay?
I think that's fabulous, and I'd like to say a thank you to the equestrian community, because truly without it, Wellington would not be half of what it is, and truly support that. Brings a lot of faces, a lot of revenue, a lot of business, a lot of notoriety, and to our community, and I think that's just what helps us become better and better and grow like we have.
I also invite you, half of the residents have never been south of Lake Worth Road. When you
Right.
take South Shore,
Right.
everybody takes a left.
Yes.
If you go one day, if you want to just, let's cruise around, cruise and see what's out there. It is beautiful. It's another world.
It is beautiful.
But it's beautiful what every barn and every farm have tried to outdo the other one. And it's very, very nice.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask, I don't know if you're aware of this, but in Palm Beach County, students have to pay for the buses when we go on a field trip.
Okay.
Okay. So the school district charges per mile, a flat fee, and then per mile. Is there any grant money or anything available
How
to?
much do you need to take a school bus to the game? From Wellington to there, there's
Might
not.
be about $250.
Okay. You can count with that.
I can
I'll
count on
take
you
it
for
out
that?
of the Wellington
I'll bring-
Preserve. Group.
Okay. All right. So if I contact you with
If
my,
you contact,
and I'm going to bring my students from
contact
Wellington
us,
Elementary.
we'll take care of the school bus for your first
How many
trip.
students can we bring at a time?
I don't know how many buses you want to bring. I don't mind. You just
You're-
gotta let
okay.
me know so we can put cones and make reservations for the buses to park. The kids can get down. They can look at a game. They
Okay.
can talk to the players. They can probably take, polo balls back with them,
Wonderful.
signed by all the players.
Wonderful.
It is something that it's worth doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how can we get in touch with you and let our schools know about this? So I'd like to put something out to
Well,
principals.
Ryan, should they contact me or should they contact Jamie?
I can get that information
get
to
that?
the committee. Yes,
Okay.
I will get that information to the committee.
because I would like to put that out
Yeah,
to
but-
our school.
But please, don't wait till April 15,
No.
because they're gonna
Yes.
come one time and forget about it.
Yes.
If you can do it then, and don't worry about the charge of the bus. Make sure that we pay for it.
Okay.
Are you looking to increase your attendance and your volunteerism, or?
No, all I want to is the people of Wellington to enjoy what we have in our backyard.
Okay.
Some of them will sit at home Saturday afternoon. What do we do today? It's too far to go to the beach, or I don't know. Let's go to City Place and walk around. Come to the polo game.
Yes.
Go to a jumping. I say polo game because they can get off the bus. They can all sit close to the bus, watch the game. To go to the jumpers and that is a little more complicated, but it's not complicated. But the polo games are exciting,
Yes.
and they got to be careful not to get hit in the head with the ball. But
Oh, gosh. Don't let Dr. Rodriguez hear that.
One thing I would suggest is there may be some people who are able to do it this year. I do know with testing and everything, it's hard to find times.
Yes.
So I mean, if we could even start thinking forward as to next year, as soon as you have a schedule available.
but even maybe this group right here, without charging for the bus, can come one day and come in your own cars. No, whatever you want to do, but try to come, because then you're going to say, Carlos was right, or forget it, Carlos was wrong. This is not what we want for the kids. I think the kids will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure
I know
they
they
would. I
would.
mean, my boys have gone to matches, usually through a school event, and they just kind of look up at these horses and with awe. So
Okay.
I mean, it's something that I think we should encourage, and it's definitely a integral part of Wellington. I think it goes hand in hand with the Historical Society. I'm just trying to think logistically, if we can start the ball rolling for next school year, as soon as you all have a schedule, if you could, let us know or get it to Paulette, who could then, we'll try and get the message out. We've got a couple of principals here today
So
But we'll
Jay,
all-
if I may say, what I can do is I will get the remaining schedule through April 30th. I will get this out to all of the principals, all 11 principals, and then I will work with Carlos for next season, and then my office can help even coordinate that with you. And we can move forward from there. But I will get that schedule, the remaining schedule, just in case. But also, I think it's very important, if I'm hearing Carlos right too, obviously it's a great opportunity to get the kids out there in terms of a field trip, but it's also it's informational for the parents. So these principals can get this information out to their parents and with the schedule. So even if the schools don't have enough time because of testing and all those things, there's other opportunities that the parents may be able to go out.
And we do have spring break coming
Spring
up.
break
Yes.
coming up. That's
So
what I was
that-
thinking the same thing.
And
Great
if
we
you
could
if you
games.
cannot come, we can come to you. We can bring a player to your football field or your soccer field and show you what they can do on a horse.
I think that would be
Yeah,
great.
that's
Yeah, that's, I think, something principals would be interested in.
Okay,
So,
very good.
We'll coordinate that.
We will
and
coordinate that with
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
appreciate,
much.
we
you,
appreciate
Carlos.
this
Thank
offer,
you.
Very much.
Your
Appreciate it.
presentation,
Yes,
your
thank
time. Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Schedule of the games for the rest of the year.
All right, I will.
Rest of this month, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, so I'll get the schedule out to the committee, and then I will make sure that I'll get an email out to the district as well as all 11 principals here in Wellington.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you very much.
All right, so our next and last presentation, we have, as you can see, we got a nice group out here tonight with us. We have Frank Rodriguez here representing our schools. So Frank Rodriguez, our area superintendent, if you would come up and just give us a quick little update as what's going on. And I think I have some envelopes for you.
All right. Very good. Well, first of all, thank you again for having us here and for welcoming us here. I want to, first of all, bring greetings to you from our superintendent, Dr. Fenoy, and from our school board member, Marcia Andrews. They're actually up in Tallahassee with Palm Beach County Day today and
yeah.
tomorrow, I believe. So they're busy. They're advocating for our children and our students throughout the county. So I bring greetings from them. I want to thank you, the Education Advisory Board, the Village Council, the entire Wellington community for your constant dedication and support to our schools. At every single turn, right, there's somebody there always advocating for our schools and for our students. And it's second to none. I want you to know that I work with several different municipalities across the county in the central region, and that there are others trying to mirror and copy what you have managed to accomplish over the years. So there's a lot to be proud of. I want to thank our principals, our administrators, our teachers, our staff at schools for all of their hard work all the time, day in and day out, what they're doing with our students, because it makes our schools here in the village a very special place to be. And without them, we know that doesn't happen. But our community is extremely supportive, and I'm proud of that. I was asked to comment a little bit today about the recent comment from our governor about the future of the standards, educational standards. And so really the only thing at this juncture that there is to share or say is that we're all familiar with his announcement, but what that means for us right now at this moment on a day-to-day basis, we're continuing with the current standards that we have. Because whenever there is a change, the Florida Department of Education releases technical assistance papers to the schools, and there's a lengthy process that they generally go through in order to adjust standards or change assessments or any of that. So for the time being, at the moment, we're really continuing and staying the course because we're still currently guided by the current standards. And so until there's that official change from the Florida Department of Education, or until we have a technical assistance paper that guides our work, we continue, and the state continues with where we currently are. So at the moment, I think it's important for everybody to know that there is no current change. There's just, we're waiting to see what that's going to look like so that then we can adapt and change course as necessary. Okay? So thank you again for your time, and thank you to our community, and thank you to our school personnel that's here tonight.
Okay, right before you go, if you would, so we have the balance of the KEELY SPINELLI grant funds from the 18-19 grant year. Our actual next meeting will be time for the 2019-2020 grant cycle, but they did have a balance of funds, and I have checks here for all 11 schools in the amount of $6,363. And if you could help me disseminate who's here. We don't have all the principals here this evening. Some of them could not make it, but I will be taking their checks to them tomorrow. But if you could give to the principals who are here, and if we could have them stand so we can just give them applause here. We got a couple here. Could you guys stand for us, please?
Stand.
Stand up.
Stand.
Okay, so let's see. Palm Beach Central High School.
Yay!
Let's see, Panther Run.
I always give them a hug. Thank you.
Polo Park. New Horizons.
Thank you.
Wellington Landings.
Yeah.
A hug or two. Thank you.
Let's see.
Wellington.
That is how we come across Wellington Elementary.
Yay!
I think we got everybody who's able to be here tonight. The others I know had functions at with their schools this evening. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank everyone for coming this evening. We'll appreciate it, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, so that is it for presentations, unless there's anything else. Anybody? Then we'll just go into staff report.
Okay. For a staff update, first, our next meeting will be on Tuesday, April the 30th. That will be our next Education Committee meeting, Tuesday, April the 30th, 6:30.
Okay.
And we have a tentative date for our joint meeting with the Public Safety Committee and this committee, which will be our 1 year update after Parkland. As you all remember, we had our first meeting right after the incident, and so we are going to gather all the district back, as well as school police. We have a new school police chief. He will be there as well, and that date is tentatively scheduled for April the 24th, and that will be at the Wellington Community Center.
And it's a Wednesday?
And let's see, is that a Wednesday?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, a Wednesday the 24th, and we're looking at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, and as you heard from the area superintendent, one of the things that we had deferred was the discussion on Common Core, because we're going to allow them to work that whole thing out, and hopefully on the April 24th meeting, they will be able to give us some updates moving forward on that. If you remember at the last meeting, our Public Safety Committee chair came and made a presentation about doing an essay contest for students to be able to write about drinking or texting and driving. And so we talked to a couple of the principals, and as you all know, there's a lot going on for the rest of the school year. So they have asked that we defer that essay contest to the 1920 school year. So we will make sure at the very beginning of the school year in August, we will get the essay contest underway. And Jay, I think that you had mentioned possibly that this committee could help work on trying to work with some businesses to try to see if we could find some type of award or gift that the winner from both schools would be able to get, because there will be a essay winner from both Palm Beach Central as well as Wellington High School. So we can talk a little bit more about that at the next meeting as well. And then I want to introduce to you two of my new staff members who is going to be working very closely with you all, especially with youth programming. We have Kyle Ostroff. Kyle, if you would stand for me. And we have Gus Passon. Stand up, Gus. And they both are going to be working with our youth programming. They are going to be doing the SWAG program, which will be coming up. And as you know, that we're going to have this year, we're going to have 12 students, 6 from each of the high schools. And they are also continuing to do tutoring on Tuesdays. We just had a tutoring session before coming over here at our office across from the Boys and Girls Club. And they are also working on other opportunities for some of our youth when it comes to spring break. There's a lot of our youth that don't get an opportunity to go to the Boys and Girls Club, and so to prevent them from loitering in the neighborhoods or in some of our shopping plazas, these two guys are going to start implementing some programs that are going to be neighborhood based.
Excellent.
And so we're going to be bringing that back to you
Good.
as we create that. And that's it for my staff update.
Wow.
Unless you guys have any
questions
questions for me.
Yep.
At what point are we going to be working on the waste management scholarships?
That will be the next meeting. Prior to that next meeting, as soon as I get, they send me all of the criteria and all that stuff. So I'll get copies of that out to you, because typically what we normally do, you all get all your working materials prior to the meeting. Mm-hmm. So, and that's how we will handle it. We will email that. And I know we have a new member. So waste management organization has been working with the village for a number of years, and they do they grant our schools funding for books, middle school, and they have scholarships for the high schools. So there is basically an application process that goes out to the schools, and they submit the applications to this committee. This committee reviews those applications, and there's a rubrics that's used, and they go from there to determine who from each school will be awarded the scholarship. So we will have that to you before the next meeting. And also the next meeting will also be the grant applications for the 2019-2020 KEELY SPINELLI grant.
All right. So April 30th will be a long meeting.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions for Paulette?
For all you do.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you.
Yes, thank you, Paulette.
And Kyle and Gus, welcome aboard. Look forward to thank you for everything you're putting together. Please let us know if you need help in any way. All right, next on our agenda here is the school liaison reports. So I'll just I guess we'll start from the bottom. Wellington High, I believe, Jenna, you were gonna take that over.
The Fine Arts Academy showcase was on January 17th, and Wellington hosted Wellington Landings to tour the academy, which was a very nice thing. And then the counselors have been hosting evening workshops for students and parents throughout the year, and also monthly coffee talks. Various workshops have occurred, and one of them was a military and civil service panel that they had set up for parents and students to attend. They'll also host a parent leadership committee this spring, and the counselors took 40 students on a college tour of 9 colleges. The athletic department hosted a national signing day February 7th for athletes being awarded athletic scholarships to college. academic games participated in a trivia game show that aired on Beacon TV. Unfortunately, they were beat out by Dreyfus. The art students participated in Wellington Chalk Art Festival, not the Lake Worth, but their own festival. And they had a special space for memorial for Marjorie Stoneman Douglas at that time. The art students also had art displayed at the Norton. I visited the Norton, and our students had art displays there. Also pretty exciting, WHS is a pilot school for next year's student schedules being chosen online. So they are one of the pilot schools for that, and they get to help work out the kinks. May 16th is senior awards night, and graduation is May 22nd at 9 a.m.
Great. Thank you very much. Palm Beach Central. Oh, that's Shelley, but
I could speak to that.
we've got somebody who can keep us updated.
Yes. We have a busy campus, as just as Wellington is. We've done college tours for the first time at Palm Beach Central. The AVID department sent a college tour to UCF and USF. The kids were very impressed with what they saw. Our ACE department, our Cambridge, is sending a tour, a college tour bus on Friday. We also have just some regular English classes touring Palm Beach State. So we've really made a real initiative to get our kids onto college campuses, especially for those who are going to be first-time college students, first-generation college students, to give them that exposure. Our Cambridge program was visited by Cambridge last week to become a demonstration school. They visited a lot of classrooms. We have a number of our teachers who are actually Cambridge instructors going into their classrooms. So we were proud to be utilized in that way by that program. Our Envirothon team is going to state. They competed in Broward County last week for the first annual commemorative anniversary of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas incident. Our SGA tried to kind of couple and marry in a nice way a celebration of Valentine's Day, but also a commemoration of the events at Stoneman Douglas, and every one of our students had a heart with their name on it with a hashtag MSD on it. So, and they were all displayed in the cafeteria, and every kid got to wear that around, as well as opportunities for our students to perform 17 different acts of kindness, and SGA created a passport for them to kind of keep track of the good things they were trying to do for other people. Just all of our sports teams are in full swing. We brought our winter sports to a close, and the spring is in full guard now. So just a lot of, we're in graduation season. So we're selling prom tickets and filled 6 grad bash buses, and we are gearing up for graduation on May 21st. And we will be thankfully using our interlocal agreement to host our project graduation event at Village Park, where we work together once again with Wellington High School. And, you know, I think this is very unique in our community as well, that 2 rival high schools work together on so many events. Yes.
So our parents and Wellington High School parents do as much joint organizing and planning to save funds to put on this really amazing event to keep our kids safe on graduation night and provide them with a great send-off. So again, another reason to love this place to live and work. Thank you.
Thank you. Wellington Landings, I guess that is me. In January, Wellington Landings held a walkathon to raise money for the school. The PTO, the community, the students, they raised over $20,000, which they can put back to books and tutors and computers, things along those lines. I know the school is in full getting ready for testing mode. So they're working with the students. They've gone through the diagnostics and identified the areas that need improvements, and are working along that way. I think this year math was lower than it has been in the past, so I know that Blake has been especially focused on that. Renovations at the school continue. If you have not seen it, it does look significantly better. The bathrooms especially are look much nicer. That's going to continue. The school will be closed for access over the summer, and the administration will once again be relocating to the high school for that time period. So that's another reason why the walkathon was good, because the school loses money from camps and stuff as it's closed, both last year and this year. So there are a number of things coming up. There's going to be a dance recital that will be held at Wellington High School. There's a St. Patrick's Day dance party, which is going to be held immediately after school till 6 o'clock, which will allow the kids to get all their energy out. I don't think they'll have any green beer, but and so I guess that is primarily it for Wellington Landings. Polo Park.
I did request some SAC minutes and have not received them to date, but I'll be happy to update at next time for Polo Park and Emerald Cove.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wellington Elementary.
Wellington Elementary. All right, we've had a lot of good things. Tutoring has been well underway, and that's what they use part of the funds from the KEELY SPINELLI grant. And they've also had enough to have tutors come down also for first and second graders, not just in the testing grades. So to get those children who are struggling. So that has taken off. That's done very well, and they're in full swing of that right now. They also had, with the fine arts program, there was a strings performance with the students playing their violins and violas with one of the music teachers, Mr. Lennox. And then Mr. Morrison, the other music teacher, he puts on the musicals. So right now, this week, they are doing Junie B. Jones, which for those of you who do not know, that is a character of first grade books. So she's a character from in first grade, yes. She has kind of a naughty mouth, but it makes for a great musical. And these shows, I know Mayor Gerwig always shows up. These shows are absolutely amazing. So that's tonight at 7 and Thursday night at 7. It's unbelievable what Mr. Morrison and the parents and the teachers that help. It's really, really amazing shows. And our art club actually took first place, won $1,500 the night of the Great Charity Challenge for their chalk representation that evening. So that was very exciting for them. Safety Patrol is headed next week to Washington, D.C. They'll be leaving. And we had someone made a recommendation at the SAC meeting, Dr. Sapp. And I don't know if, for those of you who have been around for a long time, would remember Marge Mosser. Marge Mosser was the first assistant principal at Wellington Elementary way back when. And Dr. Sapp made a recommendation to name our media center after Marge Mosser. So Dr. Vaughn, our principal, said she would get with Chuck Shaw and whatever process needs to move through for that. And something that was very exciting for all of us there, or at least for 9 of us, I'm one of those 9 included, we got our smart boards. We had our training because we have 9 Google certified educators. I am one of them. And now these are the smart boards that we will be getting. You know, in the elementary school, we don't get a lot of things that the high schools that you are privy to, but it was very exciting. The 9 of us went to an all-day training. The students are already doing fantastic things with these smart boards. I mean, we're all kind of fumbling our way through getting to learn how it is, but the 9 smart boards were delivered. The teachers are using them. The children are learning. It's been fantastic. So we're looking forward to everybody getting those smart boards, because that is the plan in the district, that all the classrooms by the end of next year will have them. And that's it for Wellington Elementary.
Great. Thank you very much. Panther Run.
I think that's me.
Yes.
Okay, so their SAC meeting is tomorrow.
Okay.
And so I have not gotten the January SAC minutes, but just a reminder to parents that the Panther Run Beautification Day is Saturday, March 9th, so please come out and support and help beautify the school. And they have a great, for parents that need to know what's going on, they have a wonderful Facebook page that all of the pictures and everything that's going on at Panther Run is shown there, so go visit it.
Great. Thank you. New Horizons is Shelley. Okay, so now my list gets a little confusing. Equestrian Trails. I had that down as Francine, so I don't know if we ever reassigned that. And I also have that same problem with Binks. I have her down listed for Binks as well. So, okay.
Do we want to take that? Yeah.
Yeah. I can take whatever you want me to take.
Okay, why don't you take Equestrian Trails?
Okay.
I'll take Binks.
Okay. And then I believe that leaves Elbridge Gale.
Elbridge Gale has got a lot of things going on there. My only opening comment would have been the school district with its 17 acts of kindness.
Your microphone,
Oh,
and pull it closer to you on and.
it's showing green.
It's green.
Talk closer to the
You
mic.
hear me? Okay. Do you want me to talk into somebody else's microphone? Yeah, it's been green the whole time. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear that.
All right. So the school district in total had the 17 Acts of Kindness program, and I've been hearing just the most wonderful things that each and every school has been doing with that, and I just wanted to commend the school district for doing that. I attended the SAC meetings for November, December, January, and February, and every time there is so much going on there. They too have a number of Google certified teachers, and the smart boards are unbelievable. I mean, I was speechless. So they have a robotics team. This is their second year to have a robotics team, and last year the robotics team went to state. One of the things that they have to do is a demonstration, so usually, like our January meeting, we meet in the media center. So there was one of these gigantic smart boards in there, and that was part of their presentation. It was the first time I'd ever seen one. So they've got a number of teachers that are going through that certification process, as well as STEM certification. I think the last time we met, I mentioned that Elbridge Gale is STEM on steroids. Absolutely STEM on steroids. Pre-K through 5th grade and after-school care are all doing STEM activities, just lots and lots, and the students are very excited about all of these different things. They did compete recently, and their teams did really well. They even have a junior team that did extremely well, that is moving forward in the competition. Their school diagnostics look good. Tutoring, a lot from the KEELY grant, is well underway. And the principal, Gail Posterzik, on February the 20th, was named Green Principal of the Year for all of their environmental practices. Was a really nice write-up on her, and they are currently in the application process to be a district STEM model school, and it is evidently a very thorough process. They're going to be visited soon. Unannounced visit, I think, and they're also applying for being a green school. So there's a lot of really exciting things, as well as fundraisers and all of the other things that typically happen. So Thank you.
Thank you. I think we could probably spend a full hour going over everything
Oh.
that's going on at all these schools.
Wonderful.
It's almost amazing they have time to learn. Okay, now we're going to the old business portion. This is regarding the committee mission statement and resolution. It was sent around to you. There was a red line version as well as, I believe, a regular straight version that was sent. Now, the danger of being a lawyer with a document in front of you is you start fiddling around with it. So I actually took a look at it and really just regarding Section 8 kind of reworked some stuff. So, and I've actually put it, I don't have a red line version of it, but I do have just a regular version. So I'm going to hand this down to you all. It doesn't change in substance, I think, what was being. Do you want to copy too? It doesn't change in substance what was proposed the last time. I think it just changes some of the verbiage. We can either, this is just my suggestion, so nobody has to accept it. And if you want to get a chance to look at it, we could address this again at the next meeting, or we could spend a few minutes and go over it right now.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
On 4 and 5, when you say assist with educational scholarships is appropriate and assist with educational grants is appropriate, who would the committee be assisting?
Well, I think that would be
Council or
council or
designees
outside,
or staff.
outside
Okay.
like waste
So-
management.
Okay, so, or could it be, because a lot of times, a lot of these grants require recommendation from the committee.
Sure.
So I don't know, I guess I'm a little thrown off with assist with. It could be, but I understand what you're saying. When the village makes application for grants, we do, a lot of times the grant requires that it is brought to committees to be looked at and as part of the grant package. So that would fall under assist with. Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
And I think that was.
That was the intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think to be a little vague so that it covers a lot of things too.
The hope was that we wouldn't have to come back and reword this.
Right.
No, I totally understand. That leaves it, that definitely leaves it general enough.
Assist with the review of.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
would that.
Because you may even have an independent school that is trying to go after something, and they would come to this body and ask for that, just like the two presentations we had. If the
Right.
equestrian, if they wanted to go after some kind of educational grant, they would come here. So I get it. Okay.
And didn't we say we wanted to have it more, we didn't want to have it so specific
Right,
on
right.
things that would leave us.
I think it's very
okay.
comprehensive, and yet it leaves some room for interpretation.
Right. I think that's what I was going to say. It does.
I think it's
Okay.
great.
I do too.
We could move forward
I
with
would
a
say
motion if you want.
everybody's,
Which version? The proposed new version or the one that was
Right,
sent
and
to us?
and just to be clear, this is only would replace
Section.
Section 8
Section
that was in of the
Yeah.
resolution that was forwarded.
Right.
I did have one question. Where the red line version is.
Right here. So next to the last. And this is 8.
Yeah, in Section 3, It says, we're changing the board members, which is fine, which comports to what we actually do. But it says there's at least, well, and 2 alternative at-large members.
That's to match what happens in reality.
But it shouldn't be alternative, it should just be at-large
at
members.
Well, technically,
It's
it's
all
not, we don't have districts, so,
Yeah, that's true. They're not alternates. They're full members that are at large.
yeah.
But aren't, each of us are nominated by a board, by a council member. So
But
what
there
would
are 2.
at-large be?
I think we may have an answer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
good.
going to wait, but I thought I'd get up. You're each appointed by a council member. There are 2 that are appointed by a majority vote of council.
Oh, I didn't know
Those are the
that.
2 at-large
Right.
members.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they're
So
not
I don't know if
alternates.
the word alternate
that's why
really
there's
is
7.
appropriate.
I think that was the wording that was in the ordinance that governs how you're selected, but I'll go back and look at it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I agree.
alternate
that's-
denotes that they're not active
They're full
members or
members.
full.
You're actually at-large. We have 2 at-large.
Right.
Right.
So
but they're
at-large
full-
versus alternate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
should,
can
yeah.
take
Yeah,
alternate
yeah,
out.
I would
I would take
definitely
alternate out.
recommend alternate be struck.
Yeah, so in section 3, we would replace alternate with just the at-large, take the parens away from
Right.
Yeah.
the at-large.
Yeah, I would totally agree
Yes.
with that.
Other than that, I didn't have any suggested changes. Does anybody else have anything?
Nope.
It looks like this proposed is just a bit of rewording or reordering a little
Yeah,
bit.
it really is just rewording and
Yeah.
there were just some phrases that I just didn't like, so went to the thesaurus and found some new words. And I moved the number 1 to the top because I thought that was probably
Right.
the top thing that we should be doing.
I liked what you did with 5 on the old one and changed it to 6 on yours. You added the residents there. I like that.
Yeah, I added that in a couple of places because the resolution didn't talk about residents, but I certainly think that as a committee, our focus is not just on the schools, but how the schools impact everybody.
Yes.
And the importance, and if we forget that, then it's here in the resolution itself. All right, is there any further discussions?
We could add and residents to number 8, because when we interact with other committees, it really is very much for the students and the residents of our village. So I would be supportive of and residents being added there.
Okay.
I'm supportive of this whole concept. I would support that.
Okay. So then I guess what I will need is a motion to,
Okay.
I want to make sure I'm not stepping on anything here.
I was just making clarification before you went there. So yes, so the motion has to first have state that you're recommending that the changes be incorporated and a clean version. After that is done, then the motion is that it goes to the village manager for review. And then the village manager, after that, it goes to council.
Okay. So is that one motion or 3 motions?
I think you could put it in one, that you want to make the motion that the changes are incorporated once that's done, or do you need
May
to?
have a dissenting voice.
No.
Okay.
You only need 1 to approve whatever changes you all have made, and that way we will take that clean version and we'll bring it to the manager.
Okay.
So you can include that part in your motion if you want to do
Okay.
that, but generally you're just
But it's
approving your changes.
procedural more, yeah.
And then we'll move forward.
Okay.
I think I could get it all. If you wanted me to make the motion, I would be glad to do that.
Go ahead.
Okay, I move that we approve resolution number R 2019-13 with the following changes. Under Section 3, Line 3, that the word alternate be removed and the parens around at large also be removed. And that the proposed page for Section 8 be accepted as is with the addition on number 8 of Section 8 to also say "and residents" at the end of it.
All right. Is there a second?
There's a second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Any other comments? Okay. Then I will. Let's vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No. Okay. So we have approved that, and would ask that it be sent up to the village manager for his stamp of approval or comments as is necessary. Thank you all. And I can email you a copy of this document. That might make it easier. Okay, then now we're on to new business, of which we don't have any unless anybody has anything.
No new business.
Okay. Public comments. Gentlemen, anyone want to say anything? All right. Closing comments. Marcia.
None.
None. All right.
Okay, I have a few things, sorry. And one I'm sorry to say now after he's left, but this past weekend at the Florida Association of Student Councils Conference in Boca, Mr. Darren Edgecombe was named the FASC Principal of the Year.
Wow.
So it was an exciting, it was wonderful and well deserved. The student body put together the nomination packet, and it was reviewed by statewide committee, and so it was really great. He was totally surprised. His wife just said, "Get dressed, we're going to Boca." And he walked in. So it was wonderful, and again, well deserved. The other thing I need to again do a little bragging on Palm Beach Central, and 2 weeks ago now, or maybe it was a week ago now, our National Honor Society students put on a dance marathon to benefit the Children's Miracle Network at UF Health, which is formerly Shands, and raised $91,000 for the Children's Miracle Network. We were visited by about 6 miracle families and their children who have been receiving the benefits of that funding through research and direct health care, and they came to tell us how much these funds mean to them. It was a very emotional day, to say the least. And to date, our NHS students, along with the rest of the student body, has raised over $300,000 for Children's Miracle Network. So they're superstars, and we commend them. And the final comment I just want to make today is it's really wonderful hearing about all of the Wellington schools, what's going on, what's shared at SAC meetings. So I implore our parents out there who have students in our schools to attend the SAC meetings. It is a wonderful opportunity to have one-on-one contact with the school administration, to hear about the great programs that we're putting on in the schools, and to be our ambassadors in the community, to share what's happening and to encourage others to come and volunteer on our campuses. So if you can, please make some time to attend your SAC meetings. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here, and I don't have anything else to say. I think I already said it.
All right.
I would just like to say that as one of the newest members of this committee, my family and I came here 30 years ago from Illinois, and when we moved down here, people said, "Oh, you have kids, you need to move to Wellington." So that's how we chose Wellington, and there hasn't been 1 minute that I've been disappointed in that. I'm very proud of this community and things that we're doing.
Very good. Oh, nothing from me. That's it.
Okay. Just a few comments. First of all, I'd like to thank the Wellington Historical Society and the Equestrian Preserve Committee for their presentations. I think that they both underline things that make Wellington unique, and part of our mission should be to continue to reinforce that, to let our students know that they're in a special place, not only within the United States, but here in Palm Beach County. So everything we can do to encourage that, be it by learning about the strawberry patch that we once were, or meeting a polo player and seeing the horses. I think that's something that we should all really work together. And I'm very encouraged that at the last two meetings, we've had other committees come reach out to us. It makes me think we should probably put on our hats and think about things we can reach out to them on. So I guess that's a little challenge to make next meeting even a little bit longer. Finally, I hope everybody saw the article in the Palm Beach Post that was on Sunday, but I think it was online a couple days before, about the Florida standards or the Common Core. I think that that's something we should continue to keep our eye on. I think it's going to be causing confusion. My experience is that anytime Common Core is brought up, it causes confusion. It's always blamed for not understanding our kids' math homework. But I think that's, just looking over the mission statement, is firmly within our mission to make sure that those standards are something that work for the families, the residents, the school children of Wellington, and that we communicate that as loudly as we can.
John, one thing, I think I'd like to commend Paulette and her staff in just the amount of work that you do to make our lives so much easier.
Yes, thank you, Paulette.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for putting up with all my little emails and last-minute requests. And on that note, we'll look forward to seeing everybody on the 24th and then the 30th, and we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
All right.
All right.
We're adjourned.